Okay, got here this morning and found a rather nasty fog patch hanging over the field. I'm afraid Dave's shelter didn't survive too well the storms either. You couldn't see those trees over there at all and whatever. So I had to hang on for a bit to wait for the mist to clear, but as the sun's coming up now, the mist is clearing quite well. This is the other little GWS moth. The one I had out the other day was the GWS, what they call the GWS 3D moth, which has flat wings with ailerons. This has like kind of, they're sort of kind of a sculpted sort of a curved wing, but with no ailerons. It's just a 3-channel. I bought this one ready built. It was already built. There was a consignment plane at Flight Crafting Kitchener. It's already been converted to run off a LiPo, though it's still got the little brushed motor in. And it had an FM receiver in it, which I took out and replaced with a Lemon DSMX receiver, but otherwise I didn't change much about it. I unfortunately broke the left wings off it the other day. I tried to launch it with a camera attached to the tail, which was probably foolish when I think about it. It's not got a lot of power, and not surprisingly, it couldn't balance and fly with an extra half an ounce of weight on the tail. I'm not sure whether it'll take off the grass. No, rather. No, I don't think it's going to take off the grass. No, I rather thought it wasn't. The other one I can get to put, the 3D moth, I can get to take off the grass, but this one, I'm afraid, won't.
Hi, Ray.
And it's a bit hairy taking it off the table, but we got it off. That was how I crashed it the other day, trying to take it off the table with a camera on its tail, and it wasn't having that. It just couldn't balance. No, I should have realized that. I mean, the whole thing's too light, and you can get away with putting a camera on the tail of some things, but this guy was a bit too optimistic. I doubt he would even fly with a camera to center of gravity, and trying to put it in his tail was a distinct error of judgment. He's a little slow flyer, really best in no wind, as you can see. Even the birds, even the tiny bit of wind we've got now is making him twitch, kind of. He's rocking a bit, and that's just because of there's a little bit of a itinerant breeze coming up now. Not much, but yeah, he's a very gentle, lightweight, low-powered little slow flyer. Oh, actually, the only other modification I made other than changing the receiver was I glued that rather awkward wooden stick on the undercarriage, because the undercarriage was otherwise just extremely bendy. So I was just trying to make it a little bit less bendy so he wouldn't sort of bash into the ground when he landed. Doesn't make him take off, but and he would take off if you've got a little bit of a flat patch. Actually, if I put down a runner or something like that, I've got a couple of bits of plastic matting and tar paper and things I put down sometimes, and you can make a little bit of a runway for some of the small planes to take off. And I expect he'd get going with that, but not on the grass. The other one, the 3D moth, has slightly longer wheels and a little bit more power, and even though it's dragging itself across the grass, the whole body and the wings are really touching the grass virtually, it does manage to take off the grass. But this guy, as you can see, it's just the wheels are barely keeping his propeller off the grass. He's also barely managing to go upwind, and even that tiny little wind, he's just struggling to go upwind because he's got so little power and whatever, and there is getting to be a little bit of wind there from the, what is that, the west. I guess it's the prevailing wind direction. The birds really seem interested in the planes here. They seem to follow them around. he's going noticeably
Time remaining. 3 minutes.
faster when he's going downwind. And then when we try and go upwind, well, see how he twitches, and that's just the wind. That's just a little bit of a gust of wind getting under his wing, I'm pretty sure. Definitely not a thrilling flyer. No, I'm not even going to try and loop him. Honestly, he's just a decorative slow flyer, really. Very little power. You could fly him indoors, I suppose. In fact, in some ways, you might say he's better adapted to being flown indoors, because you certainly wouldn't want to fly him. I've really only flown him outdoors, but you wouldn't want to get away, bird. If that bird flew into it, but I guess the bird wouldn't fly into it. I don't think they do. They never fly into planes, but he could certainly knock this thing right out of the air if he did fly into it, even a little bird like that. I suppose we should think about landing him soon. He's flying with a little 800 milliamp hour LiPo, which I actually got with him. It's a weird LiPo, it's a flat thing and it has no balance plug. An old LiPo of some sort, but it came with him and it seems to hold the charge pretty well and it fits rather nicely underneath him there, so I'm just basically stuck to flying him with it. It was meant originally when the GWS put this kit out, they recommended some kind of a NIMH battery, although mind you, how the heck it ever flew with the weight of a NIMH battery, I don't know. Because this LiPo don't weigh all that much. I imagine a NIMH battery would have weighed more. And it's not like he's got a lot of power for his weight as it is. Yeah, both left wings broke clean off when I crashed it into the ground the other day.
Time remaining. 1 minute.
Yes. Jenny there is telling me it's time to land. And it probably is, although I don't think, actually I think the timer on this is fairly conservative. Well, see what I mean, the wheels, I mean that was a fairly gentle landing, but the wheels don't really roll on the grass, they're too small or whatever. Pretty much stopped dead as soon as his wheels touched the ground. The little LiPo there, and the small wheels, but I'm sure a lot of people would find flying something like this quite pointless. I rather like these old things. He's got a certain charm, albeit you can't do anything very exciting with him. There's the battery. Bit of an oddball battery, but 640 milliamp hours actually, not 800. But anyway, it seems to work okay.